morning. Good morning to music. Good morning and welcome to Atlanta A&T University Marching Band training. The next 2 weeks will be your introduction and possibly induction into a great marching band legacy. If you're here, it's because you believe in musicianship. If you're here, it's because you believe in Coltrane, Miles Davis, Stevie Wonder, and the elements known as earth, wind, and fire. If you are here, it is because you have a fervent, unequivocal belief in teamwork. And if you wish to remain here, you better start believing in being on time.
What's going on, everybody, man? We back at it, man. I'm excited about this episode. I feel like, we're going to dissect a lot and also be able to talk about something that obviously was very important to both of us. And let me first start off by saying I really enjoy that Letterman you got over there, man. What is that F for, if you don't mind me asking?
The number one HBCU in the game.
Could be argued.
FAMU. Let them know who you are, boy. It's your boy DJ Original, man. We education station.
So excited about this episode. I forgot to even say my name. It's Calvin, aka Who Can, Cal Can, man. We back at Free Game, man. Education episode,
Straight like that, man. Again, it's your boy DJ Original, man. It's really HBCU day. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I mean, we ain't forgetting the HT, you know what I'm saying? Houston Tillerson, all day, every day, same day.
So again, man, Free Game the podcast. We guaranteed to bring you guys all the stuff that we learned along the way, what kind of made us into who we are, the men that we are today, and we would be remiss to, let's use Cal's favorite word, not adhere to the schools and the organizations that made us who we are. So let's get straight into this, man. We got so much information. We might go a little longer than 30 today.
Facts.
Just on our pure passion for, for flashing and for our schools, man. Yeah. So again, the F, y'all know what time it is. Number one HBCU, FAMU.
HT, number one HBCU in Texas, Austin, Texas. HBCU, Houston Tillerson. But, let's get down to it, man. I want to address first leading to college. Obviously, us talking about education. Let's just start there. Do you think education is important?
I mean, without a doubt. One thing I want to remind you guys is that I'm a high school teacher, and I didn't start that way. I wasn't supposed to be a high school teacher, but I did become a high school teacher. Been doing it 5 years now, and I love it. And I tell my kids, I say, guys, after senior year, when we walk the stage, there is a sigh of relief. You know what I'm saying? We want to feel like we through. Yeah. But it is your duty to learn something every day.
Yeah.
Especially to learn stuff according to the purpose and aligned to the purpose that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So, I have a book club in my school called, the Sam Houston Book Club, Real Estate Club. And we don't read for fun. We're not reading Harry Potter books. We're not reading anything, but we're reading things for knowledge. We're reading stuff towards, where we want to be in life and towards the things. So absolutely.
I feel like the reason why I asked is because, you do have that group of people that, believe that you shouldn't go to school or you shouldn't go to college or after high school. Stop wasting your time, stop wasting your money on education for the most part. And I just asked that because to me, I definitely believe education is important. And not only is it important, as a whole, but it's important just to learn, be educated about your craft. Right. Education could be, you learn about, food, you learn about sports, you learn about, you educate yourself on anything that you're a part of, whatever your craft is. And that's why I do ask that because, I want everybody to understand that there are not a lot of Steve Jobs out here, right? There's not a lot of Bill Gates out here. These individuals, of course, did not go to college, right? Or did not pursue school. They skipped college and actually just went towards their dreams. And not making it a gender or race thing as well. But, I would never tell a black man not to go to school. I would never, and I actually...
We really can't get off of that as well because I'm not going to lie to you. Again, I'm talking to the kids, so I'm going to refer to them often. You guys are missing out if you don't go to college. Like Calvin hated to see me leave.
Yeah.
And we'll jump into that a little later. I also went to UT, got my associates. I gave y'all a little hat, man. This what y'all gonna get. Cause you know what I'm saying, fam, you the HBCU on my back. That's who really had my back.
Facts.
But college is like the funnest time you gonna have in your life. To miss college is really to miss like.
You miss.
That's like not going to prom your senior year. It's like go to
great
prom.
Example. Great example.
You only get it once.
I definitely agree. And I also like not even college. Like and of course, you know, the I guess you would say the stigma about college. Like when you're in high school, everybody's telling you college is hard and leaving high school, college is going to be difficult. You need to do this. It's going to be expensive. But like he said, you're going to be missing out on a huge, important piece of your life because, like I've stated or like I've written down, like, you know, college really is about you and your discipline. Have you been disciplined throughout high school? Are you now disciplined enough? Nobody's going to wake you up and, hey, go catch the bus, you know, or hey, you got class at 8 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's waking you up anymore. And are you responsible? Are you responsible to make sure that you're going to each of your classes? Are you responsible to make sure you're checking your grades weekly, monthly, your semesters, etc.? Like,
can you handle this small environment without the helping hand of your family, your parents?
It definitely is a test alone.
Can you adhere to this environment without a guardian?
And you know what's funny is because I remember when we had our first little meetup in college, our dean said, look to the person to your left.
Oh, man.
And look to the person to your right. And she said, believe it or not, that one of those people are not going to be here next semester.
Oh, that's the truth.
You know what I'm saying? And it's your job to make sure you're not that person because they're looking at you too, right? Because you're the person to either somebody's left or right. So it was very like it was just surreal how
and that's life.
The very
that's
next
life,
semester
everybody ain't gonna make it.
People are falling off, and I think, like I said again, I think it's imperative that you have a strong support system going to college or when you're making those decisions. If it's going to be out of state, in state, talk about that difference being going to FAMU. I didn't go to college out of state, so again, a lot of people don't know where Houston-Tillotson is. A lot of people get it misconstrued with thinking it's in Houston just because it's pronounced that way. But it's actually a HBCU in Austin, Texas. It was actually founded before the University of Texas.
Well, tell me this.
Side piece of history.
Yeah, bro. And that's, first of all, y'all don't know nothing about. Cal was the SGA president for HT, so he got facts that y'all ain't really.
I got history. You know what I'm saying?
Because high school was so major for me and Cal, and the way that we were able to connect, especially in an important phase in our life, right before we went to college. Ended up going to college literally 5-10 minutes apart. I want you to talk to me about why. You know, you chose the college you talked. You know, you chose.
And I'm gonna make this as small as possible, or as short as possible. Like previous episodes, I played basketball all throughout my life, like since I was the age of 6. Got to high school, I was getting recruited. Now you might look at me now and be like, bro, this nigga can't hoop, bro. I used to be able to do my thing.
We're gonna put some pics up for Cal. Cal definitely was my size.
So I my last senior year, I didn't, as far as education goes, I didn't pass my math tax test. So in Texas, we have a tax test. I passed every test except for the math tax test. And in college, or as you're being recruited as a college athlete, you have a certain deadline to meet prior to you getting recruited, because if you do not register or follow up with these universities that's recruiting you at the deadline, they will, pull your scholarship. I was getting recruited by Texas State. I got recruited by this D1 in New Jersey. Several schools that were like D1, D2 schools that needed you to meet deadlines. Unfortunately, because I didn't pass my math tax test, I surpassed a lot of those deadlines because I passed my math tax test on the last opportunity to pass it. Shout out to my guy. I passed my math tax test, so the summer I was just trying to get into like a community college.
I remember that.
Yeah,
bro.
I was just trying to get into college because my mom was like, "Calvin, you need to get somewhere, whatever." God has a way of working on people. Man, there was a coach that was watching all my senior games, my last year of high school from San Antonio. Shout out to Coach Plummer. Gives me a call in the summer. It was like, hey, have you picked a school yet? You know, whatever. And I'm like, man, actually, I haven't. Like, I'm still trying to find a school. And he's like, well, I'm the new head coach at Houston-Tillis University.
That was his first year?
Yeah, first year. He was like, I'm the new head coach at Houston-Tillis University, and I want you to be my point guard. I'm willing to give you a full scholarship, etc. And I get off the phone. I go, and my mom going to remember this. Go in the back because I was working at my mama's store.
I remember this story too.
Bro, walk in the back. I'm like, Mom, guess what just happened? Coach Plummer just called me. He's a new coach at Houston-Tillis. I don't even know where the school is. Bro, my mom starts crying instantly and was like, Calvin, bro, that is a blessing because I've already applied. And shout out to moms.
Big shout out to Mama Joe.
She was like, I've already applied to several schools for you to go to. She said, you've been already accepted into Prairie View, Houston-Tillis, and TSU. She was like, you already got a room, and you got a room, a dorm room
your mom
at HT. You ready to go. So that's just more of a blessing that I ended up going to HT. So that's how I ended up at Houston-Tillis, which was like surreal, bro. Just crazy.
I actually forgot how dramatic. But Calvin's story is perfect because a lot of kids they don't realize they just gotta get through that mud.
Yeah, perseverance.
And get through that mud, and then on the end, the back end of there, you'll appreciate it.
Yeah, facts.
Because you could have easily probably, but I think, the type of person Calvin was and his family, they knew Calvin would be great. Bro, so they needed to put
that's what I'm saying. I'm so excited about this episode, bro, because
we got a lot.
We're gonna dive into this even more, like through future episodes. But
yeah, this is
just like a little about the pod. But back to you about out of state or however you want.
So for me, let me touch on how I chose my college first, bro. Mine was literally actually like pretty legit.
Yeah,
like no slight plug. In high school, I was supposed to go to Sam Houston, where I actually teach now.
Yeah.
But fortunately for me, I was playing golf. So making sure that I got a golf scholarship was at the forefront of my list.
Yeah.
And I know Brackenridge, they just had a little bit better program. You know what I mean? They took school a little bit more serious over there. They had a little bit more resources. My dad graduated from Brackenridge.
Okay.
So I've had ties in San Antonio.
Yeah.
So anywho, I chose Brackenridge. And I was literally the only black person in my top 10%.
Wow.
So I was number 7 out of, I appreciate it, out of about 600, 700 students, the only black person in my top 10%.
That's crazy.
So very crazy.
Yeah.
Guy used to get a lot of love. My principal, Miss Marsh, she used to give me all the love. Used to carry me around the school like this because I was the number 1 golfer in the district. So like I had a lot of love and support at Bragg. But I literally applied to one school. Yeah. I applied to the University of Texas at Austin. Yeah. Didn't apply nowhere else. Once I knew what my number was, and I had 3.9 GPA, I was doing my thing.
See,
I knew I was going to UT. I didn't apply not to one. And the worst part is students was hating on me, bro. Like, for real. Students was in class like, there's no way he's in the top 10. And I'm just
trust me. And mind you, bro, I swear to God, I wish we could have the footage, bro, about, LeBron's dramatics and antics leading up to college, bro, was crazy. Like, and like I said, this is not a biography about us, but again, it's just certain things. Like, for example, again, he did it the right way in terms of, like you say, getting his grades up, making sure he got, applied and all of these intricate pieces into getting to the next step of college is very important. And as me per se, I wasn't really an education guru. Like bro, I'm telling you, I literally made it by the skin of my teeth in every education field that I've taken. But I really want to hit on your out of state experience though. Now, I mean, because you being from Cali, and then coming to Texas and then leaving to Florida was not as hard of a transition for you, or was it more like I was okay with it? Because for me, I was a mama's boy. I wanted to stay as close.
Let's try to dissect this question in pieces.
Yeah.
The first question is out of state, in state.
Yeah.
Out of state all day.
Yeah.
And I'll come back to that.
Yeah.
The next bit of that is you know what I'm saying, kind of why HBCU-ish, and kind of, was it an easy transition?
Yeah.
No. And the third piece is it's all about what your goal is. So for me, I went to UT trying to play golf. Mm-hmm. Again, I wanted to play professional golf.
Yeah.
I've always been the best golfer in my area, so I figured let me take this as far as it could go.
Yeah.
Went to UT and just realized, like UT is like, first of all, if you make it to UT's golf team, you're pretty much already on your way. You're probably gonna go professional, or it's a very tough arena.
Yeah.
So aside from the politics with UT being a predominantly white school, never have had a black golfer, and just the politics in golf in general, it's a very competitive sport.
Yeah.
It just wasn't very intelligent when I was thinking about it. But I wanted to go to the biggest and the best. You know how you want the best for yourself.
Had this aura, yeah, for sure.
Back to the out of state move. That out of state move forces you to grow up.
Yeah.
It forces you how to learn the things that you need to learn as an individual. So I always try to get people to get out of state.
Yeah.
Here's the other reason. You normally won't get a chance. Look, we're back post-grad. We're graduated up. We got degrees. We got careers now. We very rarely travel unless we're trying to turn up or we're trying to do something for some family. But when you go out of state for college, you literally meet thousands of people that are also out of state.
Facts.
Which is literally my number one key takeaway. And we'll talk about that, Jim, later,
Facts.
which is who you meet in college.
Facts.
But for me, not an easy transition, but the best thing that you can do, because meeting multiple people and thousands of people and diversifying your contact list,
your network
is the most
expanded.
important.
Yeah.
So I think we can touch on each one of those individually, because it's hard to say which one is the most important. But I would say leaving out of state on my own was probably the best thing I could do, and it was hard for us too, because we were living in our first apartment.
Yeah, we had just moved in our first apartment together.
We went through the whole year though. Don't play me.
We held it down.
And,
but and then like you say, as far as this free game, that's like we were living lifestyles as a freshman that like you don't see in college. Like it was just, and again, this is not a biography. This is us, like I said, we're giving y'all the 4 pillars of what we're gonna be dissecting in future episodes. Like, but we're giving y'all a background of just us with these levels of the pillars, bro. But like,
I think they got to get the background in order to stand there.
Facts.
And the truth is we really were like, our parents really did, set us up on some. It wasn't handed out, but I will say, like, God is good.
Yeah, for sure.
So back to you, because you know what I'm saying. There's got to be a piggyback.
Yeah. Talk
to the people about the athletic portion, because in our city, San Antonio, not only do not a lot of people here go to college.
Yeah.
Do not a lot of people, brother-wise, both go to college, go to HBCU, but also play sports.
And finish.
We both, literally, these are not jackets.
You don't get Letterman's by.
You can't just cop these from the store. You gotta play.
I'm gonna be completely honest, and I hope anybody that watches this takes this for real. First off, if you're an athlete, that is a privilege, right? That's not something that you should take advantage of. Like, you need to work hard at whatever you're doing. Being a basketball player, like I've always said, like, I was never the best on the court. I was never the person that had to get 20, 30 points. But I promise you, any gym that I went in, I was respected. Oh, I'm on at least somebody's scouting report. Like number 10, he's a facilitator. He controls the game. He does X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm on your scouting report. And being an athlete from high school to college, bro, like, I'm not going to lie. Shout out to Taya. She's one of my good friends from college. Like, bro, freshman year got recruited. I was the only freshman at my university that got a scholarship. Everybody else was already there. I was literally the only freshman that made it on the, like, was scholarship on the team. I remember going to school in the summer, and I'm in the class, we taking summer classes or whatever, trying to get ahead. And Taya looks at me, she's like, "Is your name Calvin?" And I was like, "Hold up."
Oh my God.
Like,
Taya is blunt like that too.
I was like, "Yeah, my name is Calvin." She's like, "Oh, you play basketball, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I do." And at that moment, I realized, like, bro, like, this is what's up.
Hey,
like, this is not
listen, y'all. This is Thin Calvin.
Yeah.
I got some pics I'm about to upload for y'all.
Hey, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, Calvin was juicy.
Yeah,
no homo.
I was.
Bro had the juice.
I would say I definitely had the juice, but it was juice that I worked for. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have straight teeth. I had braces, right? Everything in my life I had to work for or persevere through whatever it was to get where I actually wanted. But more or less, when I was an athlete in college, it was really, you do get it, I call it athlete privilege, right? Like,
for sure.
You get that privilege
Some
where some of the professors are more lenient with you. They understand, like, all right, you just came from a game, give me your homework next class period or whatever. So I did get a lot of athlete privilege in college, but I was really good about relationships. I was really good about, respect. I was really good about, like, trying to my best to get in class on time and always communicate with my professors. But as an athlete in college, it was really hard, bro, and it was just really difficult. I got kicked off the team my freshman year, which in future episodes we'll get into that.
Yeah, we almost gotta have like this is gonna be education like one. We gotta have like different episodes because there's so many. Because Calvin, bro. Honestly, literally, not only was he a trailblazer because Cal went to HT. Yeah. Again, guys, I'm at UT 5 minutes away.
Yeah, right.
So me and Cal are like this. We literally are grown. Everything we're doing, we're bouncing it off each other like at this 18-year-old moment in our life. But look, Cal played ball for HT and was a trailblazer because some of the homies that were back here that didn't go to college or went to JUCO,
I was connecting them with
him. He was connecting them, bringing them right back to HT.
It was at least several people that were from San Antonio that actually went to HT, and I was a very like just connecting piece. Rest in peace to Tyrese. I was really like, bro, like Tyrese couldn't really find a school. He was debating on going to football or basketball. We had a couple of conversations. I'm like, bro, like I could get you up here to HT, bro. Like, and Coach Plummer being from San Antonio as well, it wasn't nothing, bro. Tyrese was there the very next year, hooping like. I actually started trying to really. I love HT, so every time I had an opportunity to try to get somebody
gotta shout out the homie BJ,
CJ, BJ, D-Dot.
We was really D-Dot. We the only ones that really went to Austin on the college team.
Candace, Amber, who else was from San? Casey, Devontae that went to Wagner. Yeah. Bro, San Antonio was literally kind of deep in HT, but more or less, whatever, and I mean, but as an athlete, you being an athlete, going to FAMU, what was that transition like? Especially being an HB, because y'all were kind of swaggy. Shout out to OG, you know what I'm saying?
This is what I love about the dynamic.
Yeah.
Your boy Original has been blessed. Yeah. I've been blessed to kind of move through situations smoothly with little turbulence. Cal goes through the mud and shows people how to get through it so that they can. So while I'm here at UT, love it. UT's great. Yeah. Man, shout out to everybody. Texas Fight. Y'all know UT will always hold a space. Yeah. But I just knew UT wasn't giving me enough. Yeah. I would go across the street to HT and witness the love. Witness the passion, witness like that barbecue, home style, black African American just what's the word I'm looking for? Not
art. Nah, I ain't gonna mess you up.
Whatever, just African American culture. Yeah, like the diaspora was just so.
And I was hold on real quick, and I was gonna say this too. You got to also think, UT. Had only like they had they was meeting quotas at UT, so their amount of black people at UT was probably the amount of black people we had in our whole university, right? So if we were to meet, it's almost like our 900 is meeting their 900 or 1,000 black students that they had over at their university. But definitely LeBron would always come over to HT and catch that vibe of just It was, bro, we're going to get so much to this conversation, bro. Like I said, Education 101.1 and 1.2, bro, because it's so much to dissect on how important education in terms of high school to college was to both of us. But, yeah, what was your athlete?
Actually, I always wanted to play golf.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. But when I went to UT, realized it was going to be quite a landslide trying to make that team. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, bro, when you get to college, guys, and y'all see a 17-hour, course curriculum for yourself, that's 5 different classes. And not only 5 different classes where you picking your own schedule.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? You picking all late classes, you picking like 4 classes in one day. Like you being very childish with your schedule because you're 18, you're a freshman. Bro. But seeing Cal hoop, I'm seeing all the love he's getting from, you know what I'm saying, HBCU, getting way more scholarship. Yeah. I'm just at UT like, bro, I'm not about to spend all this money to meet a handful of people. And that's literally a topic for another show. Because UT small knit, like 100, 200, 300 black people, but I'm at a school with 50,000 people. Yeah. It's just, I didn't feel like I was getting my money's worth. Facts. So I went to FAMU, which to me still had enough people that it was a very large setting to where I didn't feel like I knew everybody because I need that. Yeah. I need big spaces. I thought FAMU was the best. And shout out to my boy Omari Whitmore, my FAMU golf team, Anthony Phipps, Joe Moe, all the guys. My favorite thing about being an athlete at FAMU had to be, one, your whole team is black. Yeah. And I know that's not a lot for basketball, but for golf, like it's pretty cool. That is to pop out and we all African American and we all swaggy. Like y'all guys know me as original and I don't switch it. This is who I am on the golf course too. Like I know how to make it, you know what I mean, take off the edges and make it appropriate. But bro, all of us, my boy from Chicago, one from Atlanta, I'm from Cali, another dude from Texas. So to be around all the best black African American golfers in the city, I mean in the U.S. and to be in one city and location that was the best feeling that I could ever have.
My next question was going to be us diving into extracurricular activities. So we can ask each other the same thing.
That's deep.
Yeah, but we'll get there. But this is free game. We're going to give y'all insight and actual, like I said, bro, like we're not going to get as detailed, but for the most part, the experience, the thought process, you know, just the support of your friends, your brothers, etc. That some of the decisions that you may be faced with in college or in high school. So any extracurricular activities, I'll just say one of them obviously being, did we pledge? We went to HBCU. So obviously the dynamic of pledging at HBCUs is huge, right? You don't find too many just like, you know, just people in general that did not or have not have family members, you know, the whole generational thing pledge. So did you get a chance to?
I mean, mine is a lot. So, you know what I'm saying?
We'll dive in.
We'll start with mine. Yes, I pledged, but did not cross.
Yeah.
And frankly, did not want to cross. Yeah. I think normally you have that situation where most freshmen come into college and they looking to find themselves. Yeah. And that I was, but I think one thing college didn't know about me, I had already knew enough about myself to kind of know what I wanted out of college.
Say that.
College is used to getting people that, you know, need that, all the support they get.
To kind of justify them.
I was raised by my father. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My dad drove me down there. I was raised by my grandpa. My grandpa wrote me a check to go to college. Yeah. So I already had a structure. I already had kind of like a divine 9, if you may, that already had, I was accountable to. Yeah. So for me, I was an investment for my family. So when they looked at me with pledging, they kind of looked at me like, look, you're not, what Eric Thomas said about his kids. I didn't send you to college for free. I had to pay. Yeah. But I didn't send you to college to go make somebody else rich. I sent you to college to make this family rich and to move our name forward. So I did pledge, but through my process, I found out that it wasn't for me. Yeah. And that's no diss because I've read books, you know, Greek 101, plenty of Black Greek books, and it's necessary. Yeah. We need these organizations in our communities. For sure. These organizations, shout out to all of my Greeks, the Divine Nine, because they're necessary. Yeah. But the other spin on Greek life for me is I DJ'd. Yeah. And I literally invested $8,000 to $9,000 in
you know what's funny?
Cal can tell you
I just really appreciate this conversation 10 times more because as you continue to talk, it gets deeper and deeper.
And you learn more of the decision making.
And I just hope that, you know, like I said, he teaches just people in general, like even if you're in college now or you've already graduated, you know, bro, like we're gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about it because
what's real? What's
like,
true?
Bro, shout out to DJ Bananas, you know, because because
Without
I was in there. See, this is what I'm saying. DJ Original that y'all know today, I was in there with the whiteboard counting their hits and misses. Like I'm listening to you know, just horrible stuff at first. And I'm just like, hey bro, like you know that don't miss. You know what I'm saying? But now it's hitting. But more or less, shout out DJ Bananas. You definitely was a very intricate piece, and I believe in your life where you are now. As far as answering the player's question, I also was I was unaware of Greece actually.
I didn't really know what
like,
that was.
but bro,
either.
San Antonio being like, you know what I'm saying, like going into college. The closest thing I even saw about fraternities and sororities was like Stump the Yard initially before getting into college. Got into college, started learning more about them, their processes and all these other things like that. But I was actually more inspired by people first.
Keep going, bro.
But I was more inspired by the people first. So I remember meeting a guy that was actually a barber at my university. So obviously, if you know anything about HBCUs or college in general, you got your neighborhood barber. And his name was Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. And he was an alpha, actually. And he's cutting my hair. And the first conversation we have, bro, like I'm a freshman. He's like, hey, man, you read the good book? And he cutting my hair. And I'm just like, yeah, whoop-de-whoop. And he's just like, yeah, he just started playing Wale. I never really heard Wale. And I'm just like, bro, like, I can dig this dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this is before I even know what fraternity he's in. You know what I'm saying? And I eventually get to know what fraternity he's in. And then you start getting recruited, per se. Like, you start just having people come out at you with all types of stuff. But I was just saying, just like I said on previous episodes, like, I was pledging more or less, or interested in pledging more or less based on the brotherhood of it all. Like, I wanted to have actual men in my life that were stable, was able to pull me by the neck and say, hey, Cal, you need to relax. You need to get up out of that. Because, like I said, I ain't got kicked off the team my freshman year. So I was kind of like a lost person at a point. And me wanting to pledge was trying to get some structure, some formality in my life, some strict.
And I think every little black boy wants that.
Yeah.
If you're, and the funny thing is, he played basketball.
Yeah.
But there's another layer that comes with Greek life as well of notoriety, like respect. But every little black boy that comes through respects the Greek life, just because you see what they're doing, it's positive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They do cool stuff. So that makes total sense to me. For me, the important key is now that we're older, we have to kind of just pay attention to the recruitment process.
Yeah, facts.
You got to pay attention to your decision making.
Yeah.
Because for me, bro, and Courtney will literally tell you, bro, I treated, first of all, when y'all get to college, bro, they passing out flyers like every minute.
Yeah,
you will have like...
And mind you, we was freshmen, so I will tell you right now in Austin, the two livest parties, Kappa Scream, which you go to, I think the first holiday in college is Halloween. In terms of just like
we do
getting out.
Yeah,
I think it was Kappa Scream, and then the Alphas at UT had the livest what is it? What is the one in during what is the shit that they
Kappa
had?
Wing.
No,
the Alphas had
during the track. What is that week in Austin for spring break, where everybody running track? They come out there for track.
Oh, Texas Relays.
The Alphas for the relay, that part that they have, bro. And so as a freshman, you getting intrigued by this stuff, like these niggas doing all of these moves in the crowd, and you like,
take me back.
Bro, what is all of this stuff? Like you like in the museum, exactly. But shout out to, and I need to say this too. Shout out to my boy Casey. He from San Antonio. He was more or less an inspiring piece in me wanting to pledge, and I don't find it or deem it necessary to describe what or who we were going to be pledging to, but the point is that was there. You know what I'm saying? That opportunity was there. But I think an important part that you said, where we were already identified as people. And
we already kind of were set in our stone.
And a lot of people, just so you're aware, like, don't ever try to attach yourself to something to justify who you are. Right? Because you see that happen with a lot of people that join these fraternities or sororities where they're trying to identify themselves, and then that's all they recognize themselves with. Where it's like, oh, I'm Calvin I'm LaRon versus just being LaRon, versus just being Calvin. and no diss to the Greeks, but I'm just saying, as far as when you're making those decisions, be mindful that learn who you are first, because if that never were not to happen, you'd be able to walk away being like,
and it's all respect, because here's the slight plug for the Greeks. You got a system now. You got an organization behind you that's going to help you get through the education system. Mm-hmm. This education system was not built for us.
Yeah.
That's why it's very important that we send little black boys and little black girls to HBCUs.
Yeah.
Because they're going to instill in you guys the things that you guys need to be successful.
Yep.
They're going to give you guys the backing. And they're really going to give you the Greek life, but at the much more macro level.
Facts.
But going back to Greek, because that is such an intricate part, it's kind of the piece why I moved to FAMU.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was a lot of turmoil and a lot of tension during that time, because we finding ourselves.
For sure.
But what I'll say is you as an individual always have to be accountable for yourself first.
Facts.
Because you won't even be useful to an organization if you're a pushover.
Yeah.
Or useful to an organization if you're... But for me, like I said, I kind of had options as well. Yeah. If you have 3 cars outside, you know, on any given day, you might be like, man, well, I'm going to drive this one because that is the option for me. Mm-hmm. My number one option was always golf. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So the second option was actually, obviously, education. And then, obviously, any other organization came after that. So for me, I always had that trump card. Like, guys, I'm not going to get down with this unless you literally are bringing something to the table. That brings me back to Courtney.
I remember him saying that for sure.
Listen. I treated Greeks and these organizations like they were like free samples in the mall.
Yeah. I
didn't know that, like, when you go to a meeting, you're basically committing yourself to this
message.
Like, if you go to
real talk.
I'm giving some of the high schools.
I swear to God, all high schools need to listen. Like, do your research before you just start walking in and stuff, because they be trying to, and mind you, depending on what university you go to, is more important or more, I guess you would say, looked down upon. Like, bro, you're in the candy store, bro, and you're not knowing, like, if I eat chocolate, I can't eat sugar, or I can't.
I mean, you're a freshman. You 18. All this shit is excuse my language, is you know what I'm saying, exciting. Yeah. But for me, my people, my grandfather were Masons, and we all know Masons. They're actually the highest level of that fraternity team. So when I got their feedback in terms of what should I pledge or not, they all told me no. Yeah. And they kind of they weren't rude about it. They were just saying, hey, we're Christians, we're religious, and at a certain level with that is different. But they were like, you good, you can do all that.
You know what's funny is because God kept telling me no. Every time. And people that know, people that don't, I mean, so what? I tried to pledge, I think it was 3 or 4 times. Literally. 3 to 4 times. It was never my fault why we didn't finish our stuff, but every time, bro, I prayed and I was just like, God, if this is not for me, show me it's not for me, bro. And every single time, bro, something would just happen. And I'm just like...
Because, I honestly, like, I think me and Calvin were meant to walk our paths. Yeah. Like, we were meant to walk paths that were less traveled by so that we could achieve and do things from a different lens. Because, again, guys, I went to every meeting. Well, the plan was to go to every Greek meeting. Because, to me, I'm saying... I want to see what all y'all look pretty cool, but if y'all gonna get me, I want to see what y'all gonna.
What makes y'all different?
Let me see what's good. I'm in the first meeting we ever went to was the Kappa meeting. Yeah, hilarious, and I'm totally forward with it because I don't care. Yeah. I have no aspirations to pledge anymore. Yeah, but the guy I was closest to in college was DJ Bananas. Yeah, who my boy, you know, said put me on the game. DJ Bananas is an alpha. So you already see the complexities. Yeah. I'm in the Kappa meeting, bro, and you supposed to be in the meetings like on some humble stuff. Yeah. Like, I'm just being me though. At the end they said, does anybody have any questions? Bro, I kid you not. Everybody in there is looking all timid. They looking all scared. It's like just like the movie. Like, I'm not feeling any of this. Yeah. I'm in here with my boy Courtney. I'm like, I stand up, I said, I just want to be honest. Like, I hear a lot about, you know what I'm saying, what we can do for y'all. Can y'all kind of like tell me what y'all can do? Can y'all tell me what y'all can do for me? Bro, when I tell you all of the dudes' faces in there was like, who is...
Just as think he is.
The funny thing is, though, is...
It's a great question,
At
though.
the end, though, they was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Nobody has ever done that.
Bro, that
You get
was
a lot of
historic.
respect. And Courtney makes fun of that shit every day. But, again, Greek life is cool. Shout out to him.
Yeah, facts.
Necessary. Me and Calvin, fortunately, unfortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, didn't. But we had a fraternity in our sport. I had a golf fraternity. My man had a basketball fraternity.
For sure.
And
And
that's
that is
me, too.
also a brotherhood, for sure. Any other extracurricular activities?
Oh, for sure. Definitely the government. I was with the student government. A student government, and I was in book club. That was it. You know, there's so many organizations that they want to try to get you guys a part of in college. But I tried to keep mine strict to what I was doing, which is I love to read. And the student government, we wanted to make sure that we were making sure that, school was moving the way it was going. Leads me into you.
Yeah.
This guy was a whole SGA
May not look like one right now.
Of
I'm
this
very,
college.
very, very, very humble. But, bro, yeah. But I'm not going to say that was one of my goals. That was not one of my focuses. Like, I literally was one of those people that just thought about basketball. Like, that was all I thought about. Senior year, I had a mentor of mine. Shout out to Dr. Roderick Smothers. He's now the president of Philander Smith College in Arkansas. Brought me in his office and was just like, Calvin, I know you're not playing basketball anymore. You need to get more involved on campus. And I took that opportunity. I took the risk because I was deemed on our campus like just a hooper. Like, he just played basketball. Bro, the moment I get in the political realm.
Bro was councilman tape for
Hey,
real.
mind you, bro, there was like several people that was already in the game of SJ. I'm sitting down just like Kobe would. I'm like, hey man, I'm considering doing this. What are y'all thoughts, Calvin? Are you joking? Like, what have you ever done on campus other than play basketball? And I'm like, shit, nothing. I don't know if it's good for you, bro. Ended up changing my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Ended up changing my whole life based on the simple decision of actually taking a risk on becoming involved in campus activities. And so, yes, I was the SGA president at my university. It was a blessing how I ended up doing that. But it was a very life-changing moment for me. A lot of opportunities came from that. So I would advise anybody that ever go to college, like, get involved on campus. Get involved in your university. Get involved in the things that make your campus move. Because the best thing I could say that I learned from just being SGA president, I earned a lot of respect from people that saw me lose my scholarship my freshman year, get kicked off the team, and I actually grown into a man. Like, they seen me grow into a man, and then also taking it to the point where I went from a meeting to just basketball athletes to a meeting of board of trustees, where I'm talking to millionaires, the mayor of Austin, the owners of Sterling Acura. Like, I'm in there.
I can't
talking
wait
with
to
movers and
see where you
shakers.
end up, because a lot of your life is almost literally like God will let you think you going off, and then
Yeah.
he'll pull you right back
Yeah,
onto your
facts,
path. Like,
facts.
because you and guys, when he became SGA president, I had transferred, so I was
Yeah.
already
Yeah,
in
he was
Florida.
doing-
then.
yeah.
So I'm seeing everything Cal's doing from afar, and it's hilarious because I'm seeing little videos. Cal riding in the back of golf carts around the campus, waving at folks like this. Yo, I'm tripping.
Hey,
I'm
I
like,
was definitely
what is
Councilman
bro-
Tate there, bro.
Bro,
I'm shaking hands with good people. People
he
know-
kissing
and-
babies and whatnot. I was like, bro, what? Who is my?
and not being insensitive, bro. I was really, very, very creative. I turned our homecoming around, and if anybody got something to say, you come see me about it. When I was SGA president, bro, now mind you, when I was in college from 2010 to 2015, yes, it took me 5 years because I was an athlete. But my senior year, bro, never had a concert, never had things that you would think HBCU like Prairie View and all these other schools had. Bro, my senior year had a concert, had a comedy show, because I knew homecoming for us as an athlete was the biggest week of the whole year. Bro, I turned our homecoming around. I made sure our fraternities and our different groups and organizations came together. And then I made other people. I made SGA. I made being involved on campus look cool. Because a lot of the people, friends of mine, close friends of mine now, they were never thinking about getting involved and never being in SGA, bro. And shout out to Dr. Boone. I'm gonna send this video to you too. Shout out to Dr. Boone because he was my mentor while I was in that SGA realm. Bro, he would tell me like, Calvin, like you really changing this whole campus, like
because that's the type of person you are.
Yeah, bro. It was.
You were a good fit.
Appreciate that.
And that's what leads me into just the free game alone, guys.
Yeah, facts.
Like, again, like we just normal people from know where we from.
Yeah.
But we feel the need, the necessity to share.
It's a lot of
We've
knowledge
been through
in these
so
brains, for
many
sure.
just hurdles and situations that we gotta share.
Yeah.
We both played sports.
Yeah.
He's been the SGA president. I've been to the biggest HBCU and the biggest predominantly white school. We both were friends at one point freshman year, living our first apartment together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Having to be separate, to watching each other thrive from a distance. So I just think, in closing, let's talk more about just, kind of what we think education has done for us.
Yeah.
What little key takeaways we gotta have for the high schooler, or maybe the person that never went to school and is thinking about going back to school. And
I will just leave y'all with a couple of things. I believe that college itself, and not just high school, but more importantly, college. If you ever think about or have the passion to go. Like, go. I would say that it grooms you to who you're gonna be. Like I said earlier, it shows your discipline. It shows your responsibility. And I believe the most important piece about college is networking. I believe that you meet your millionaire partners in school.
For sure.
You meet your movers and shakers in the classroom. Like I feel like my man, what's dude from Facebook, the owner? Mark Zuckerberg. College. He meets all of his constituent people in college.
You don't need to graduate.
Bro, I'm talking about, I had a graphic designer in college that I still talk to this day. My partner Xavier, Friday, all of these people I met in college that are now movers and shakers throughout their communities. And every time we come back for homecoming, we picked up where we left off. But if I ever needed something that I knew I didn't have the capabilities, bro, I know somebody that could get it done. So networking was very important. And in closing, for me, I'll leave y'all with a quote that I feel like I created, but maybe you can find it elsewhere. The more paper you get brings more opportunities to the paper you can have. Basically, essentially, diploma is a paper. A degree is on paper. The more paper you get opens more opportunity for the paper you can have, which is then financial paper. And that's a quote that I feel like I created. I live by that shit, where I think that's what I'll tell my daughter. That's what I'll tell anybody that looks up to me. Like, go get as much paper as you can get. If it's a master's, a doctorate, or what, go get that. Because that's just opening more doors and more opportunities for you to get more paper. Your 6 figures, your 7 figures, like, that's what I believe in, and that's my part in closing in terms of our education episode.
Man, there's no way we could one piece this because it's so intricate, it's so important in our community. I love the quote, so I'll say my quote would be, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. So you can invest in real estate, you can invest in business, somebody else's, but if you invest in your own knowledge and yourself, you can dictate the level of your interest. You can dictate the level of your, your remuneration.
That's deep.
So for me, y'all gotta educate yourself whether you guys are in college or not. Because what I learned, all college does is it puts you around like-minded people.
Yeah.
People movers and shakers, and they give you a book.
Yeah. Facts.
They give you a teacher that really just monitors y'all, like for real.
And just to bring this all back around again, I just want to make it, like say, just important to anybody that's watching. We're breaking down 4 pillars, but we're essentially going back to the very first introduction episode. We're actually giving you the credit in which we're talking about as we discuss these certain topics. So the education, we got degrees, right? We went to different universities. We played different sports. We're just giving y'all basically our background from it, so then when we actually dive in further to these conversations, y'all understand the credit that we have to discuss. How did you get your degree? What classes did you take? How was going to, the questions that we're going to ask or we're going to answer ourselves, that's what we're bringing it around to the free game. So we're getting y'all to learn about us with culture, with childhood, with education, with adulthood. And then once y'all learn who we are, then we're going to start bringing in the episodes where we're actually having that informative gems the whole episode. So I just wanted to make sure,
yeah, that they tying it back, and that they see because the truth is, bro, more people did not go to college than you think.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think they can appreciate the vantage point. And for me, like I said in closing, I would just say, and the funny thing is, we didn't even give you guys. We were so excited just to talk to you guys about education because it really does bring a good spirit back. We didn't even tell y'all what our major was, so we definitely having another show. We didn't even tell y'all what our major.
So
in
excited,
was.
we just forgot. Like, bro, oh my god.
But just in general, guys, I literally have met some of the most long-term friends, relationships, greatest people I will meet from going to college. Yeah. Some of the old heads that have become a mentor in my life were because we went to college.
I didn't even get there.
Taking the leap, getting outside of mom's wing, and going out and trying it on your own in college. Yeah. Best decision I made. For those of you guys who maybe missed that high school gap and you thinking, should I go back?
Bro, go.
Absolutely.
Go.
Now,
go.
The goal I will say is to learn how to, and if you've never been to school or you stopped learning in high school, then you need to go get your habits back.
Yeah.
Because to me, the goal with college and education in general, because education doesn't just mean college or university. The goal is to go somewhere until you can get to the level where you can teach yourself.
Yeah.
Because college teaches you how to teach yourself a craft.
Exactly.
And I just want to tell people, you don't have to just go to college. Yeah. Go get a craft. Go get a trade school. Go get a legit service or a skill, and then just get to the point where you can teach yourself how to win out here.
And then just finish.
And finish whatever you start.
Yeah. My mentor, David Gossi, and I swear I forget about none of my mentors, so you will be shouted out on future episodes. But Dr. Terrence Graham Malone, Dr. David, my man David Gossi, Justin Martin, all y'all are going to get talked about for sure. But finish anything you start. My mentor, David Gossi, don't be that person that, starts washing your clothes and don't finish your folder. No. If you start that process in college, just finish it. It don't matter how long you take, just finish it. So.
Man, this free game 2020, all 2020. Y'all see the paraphernalia? We out here dripped up. It's your boy DJ Original.
Who can, Cal can, man.
Look, free game 2020, we gone.
Big Brother Almighty, most eloquent leader of Gamma Phi Gamma Woo. Gamites! Hello, Big Brother General George Patton, sir. Gamites! Hello, Big Brother Chuck E. No relish. Gamites! Hello, Big Brother Dr. Field. Good. Gamites! Hello, Big Brother. Gamites! What up, Big Brother X-Ray Vision?
Sound like none of these motherfuckers.
And I hear they've been trying to get some trim.
Oh, shit!
Julian, how long these sorry moonheads been online anyhow?
Now, when you began, there were 10 Gamites. Now, only 8 remain. Now, I do not know how many of you will cross the burning sands to the oasis of Gamma Phi Gamma, but I do know that there is no room for any pretenders. Weak link amongst the ranks. Which one of you is it?
Slim Daddy.
No, not my personal Slim.
Rhino T.
No, don't be putting it on Slim.
Mussolini. Working. Sarnosi.
No, that's a nose.
Yoda.
Yoda wears dark. No, it could be Yoda. Look, it was nose. It was nose.
There's no truth but truth.
Oh no! Oh no!
Stop.
Don't get half pint.
Yes, Dean, Big Brother Almighty.
How tall are you?
5 feet, 5 inches.
Yeah, you're a 5 foot, 5 inch piece of shit.
Yes, Dean, Big Brother Almighty.
I don't even know why you pledged. This is not for you. Gamma men are real men.
I am a real man, a gamma man.
Were you asked to speak? You're not a gamma man yet. Brothers, I suspect this sawed-off human being hasn't even had a girl yet.
It's not true.
Oh, isn't that right? I bet you're still a virgin, aren't you?
No, Dean Big Brother Almighty.
Are you calling me a liar?
No, Dean Big Brother Almighty. I haven't been a virgin since 9th grade.
Bullshit! You're a goddamn virgin. You ain't seen no parts of the pussy.
I'm not no virgin.
I don't even know how you got this far. You're weak, a pussy, and you're gonna drop, just like your cousin. I'll over here tonight. And no gamma rays. One ain't pledging no virgins. You got it? So you get that freak over here tonight. Now straighten up and get the hell out of here, all of you. Get that smile off your face.